Greetings scientists, so you're back with me, Atomic Alex at Sublime Science HQ for the first of our bonus videos. This is challenge number 9 now in our series of 10 experiments that you can do at home, stuff that you just got lying around. Remember, we've got a competition running throughout these 10 weeks, so you can get involved with posting your own videos of any one of the 10 experiments that we've done. You can do your own versions, try different things, get really creative and competitive with your friends. The most interesting one wins that free science party. So remember, that will include the slime making, sweet making, smoke rings, smoke bubbles, loads of other stuff jam-packed into the hour. If you do miss out on that, don't worry. We've got 10 runners-up prizes up for grabs. Those runners-up prizes are lab kits. So you can do loads more experiments at home with the 2 books that are included in that pack, along with a lab coat and loads of other fun sciencey gizmos to get you going. And when you do post your versions of the experiments, just make sure you add the hashtag THFOnline2020, so that's THFOnline2020, that we posted along with this video as a reminder, because this is all in association with the Tim Henman Foundation Online. They do some great work, and that link to their page will be posted along with the hashtag under this video. So our experiment today, this is food colouring flowers. Okay, I did mention this is a bit of a biology experiment. I've been quite looking forward to this one. So you only need a few bits and pieces. It's a really quick one. You just want, of course, some white flowers. Okay, it's important they're white. We're going to talk about that more later on. Some food colouring, a beaker or container or glass. Okay, just something to hold some water, and ideally one of them tea towel. Okay, it could get a bit messy. You can also use a pipette. Okay, if you've got a pipette lying around, packs, you know, one of the other bits that you might have sent you in the past, or you might just have one anyway. But if you don't have one of those, not the end of the world. Just makes it a bit more sciencey, really. So first step, just to half fill your container, however, you know, whatever size it is, with water. Okay, so once you've got that there, the next step is to take your plant, and we're just going to trim it down. So I've already got it down as one, just as one stem, one flower. But I just want to now trim that so that you've got a bit of an angle on it. So you want a nice, sharp, acute angle, okay? And that's just to maximise the surface area at the end of the stem so it can draw up plenty of water, okay? So we're actually going to put that aside to one side for just a minute. The next step is to add your chosen food colouring. So we're going to go for green and just keep it nice and sciencey. I'm going to use my pipette now because we want to keep anything that you're not testing in this experiment, anything that you're not changing, anything you're not changing, you want to keep the same. So the amount of food colouring would be one of those things that we'll try and keep the same to make sure it's a fair test. So I'm going to go for 7 pipettefuls of our green food colouring here. That's 4, 5, 6 and 7, there we go. So I'll put that to one side. And at this point you can then pop your flower in your beaker of coloured water, okay? Should have mentioned before that when you do just cut down your stem, just make sure it's a length that's good for that beaker, and it's going to allow your flower to stand upright. So it's sort of, you know, above the surface there, it's not kind of caught below the edge of the container. So you want to do that with a few different colours. It'd be nice to test out different food colourings and compare the results. So I've got a few of these that I've just prepared earlier. So I've got 3 different colours. I've got a green, I've got a nice, what's turned out as quite a dark yellow, and a blue. But I've also got one here that's got no food colouring at all, okay? So that's just water. The reason I've done that is so that I've got what we call in science a control test, okay? So that's one that doesn't have any food colouring, just so I can compare that one without food colouring against these ones with food colouring, so I can really see what impact that food colouring is having. So it's just quite an important thing to do in science, just to make sure we're really testing out, you know, the effect of the thing that we're actually changing, okay, and make it a valid test. So at this point it's a bit of a waiting game. You just want to put those to one side and wait a few hours. You may need to leave them overnight, okay, to really get the results that you want. So thankfully there are a few that I prepared earlier, so we can get rid of those. Ones I want are the ones that I actually prepped yesterday. But like I say, it actually only took about 3 hours to get these results, and hopefully you can see that something's happened. Okay, so changes. I promise you, all of these started off as nice white chrysanthemums, So they all look like this previously. So this is the plant they had that's been marinating just in the water, the non-coloured water, okay? And that's remained white. But these other ones have all changed colour. So our blue one, hopefully you can see this, has a slight blue tint, okay? The yellow one has gone a bit, yellowy, orangey, okay? It's a slightly darker food colour than it had previously, okay? So it's actually gone a bit orange. And our green one has turned slightly green. So you're wondering, well, why has that happened, okay? At this point, I'd like you to come up with your own explanation as to why that might have occurred, okay? So you can pause the video and have a think at this stage. So give it a pause, and 3, 2, 1, and you're back with me now. So what's actually taken place there is that that plant, all these plants, have sucked up the water, okay, through the stem, and that's gone right through to the petals. Normally when plants are in the ground, the roots do the job of actually drawing up water, so it draws it right through the roots, through the stems, and into the petals, where it then evaporates. That's a process that we call transpiration, which you'll learn a lot more about when you get to secondary school. But if we use the food colouring, we can actually see that colour, see the effects of that, because the colour actually fuses throughout the petals, remains there, so we can see that water's been drawn up. So it's actually the same process taking place in our control flower. It's just that one doesn't have any food colouring, so that you can't see it. Really, the food colouring doesn't change the science here at all. It just enables us to actually see what's taking place. So all that water's been drawn up, and if you want to get really sciencey, what we've got to thank for that is these dead tube-like cells within these stems that we call xylem. Okay, so they're actually, as I say, dead cells. The tops and bottoms have disintegrated; they're not in use anymore by the cells, and so they all stack one on top of the other to form these long tube-like structures that spread right throughout the stem, and through adhesive forces and cohesive forces draw up all the water, in this case the coloured water, right the way through the plant into the petals. So as I say, we have this nice coloured petals forming. So really interesting, really good one to test out. Now it's over to you now. Test out different colours, okay? See how pretty they can get. You can have a whole full range, a full sort of rainbow set of flowers. Okay, again, that's not changing the science, but does make it look even better. But you can change up the sciencey aspects of this too. So see what effect different temperatures waters have. Try it out with hot water, see if that affects it. This is quite cool water we're using now. Test out different lengths of stem, okay, see if that affects it at all, or cutting the ends of the stem in a slightly different way. It's interesting, by the way, that it still draws up water even without the roots, okay, so this effect of the water being drawn up through the plant still takes place, even without the roots. So anyway, you can test out the stem length and how you cut it, and you can also test out different species of plant, okay? So we've got chrysanthemums here, we've got mini chrysanthemums there, but try it out with different ones. Do remember though, it works best with a nice white flowers, so you can actually see that food colouring take effect. But like I say, it's over to you, and we look forward to those results. The best one wins that science party, and I will see you scientists for our final video very soon. So good luck and stay awesome.